Hello, all, good morning. So today we are going to discuss about the topic relationships. So in Salesforce we have different kinds of relationships like lookup relationship, we have master detail relationship, and also we do have external lookup relationship. External lookup relationship. Right. So let's see what all these relationships. What is the purpose of this relationship and everything today? Right. Suppose let's go with a small example. Let's consider we have an application called as school. Okay, and under this application we have the classes, we have the students, and we have the tuition fee. Let's consider these three are the different objects. So classes is a different object, student is different object, and tuition fee is different object. Now let's consider this. This is a database table, right? And also we have the students. This is the database table, and we have the tuition fee. This is the database table. Initially, let's forget about the tuition fee. Let's discuss about the classes and the students. So whenever a student is joining into a school, right? So it's mandatory that he need to mention his class, right? So he can't just blindly go and sit in the school and he can say that, okay, let me join into the school and later on I'll decide my class. It's not at all right? So we need to decide our class, and it's mandatory that we need to provide our previous details as well, like where we studied, up to which class we studied, because we can't jump directly from first class to ninth class or eighth class, right? So there should be some protocol, like properly we need to go, right? We need to study each and every class. So that's the reason. So whenever we join in a school, it's mandatory to mention that in which class we are studying or in which class we are going to join, right? So what's happening? When we are trying to register a student form, the class is mandatory, right? I'm having the list of classes here. So let's consider I'm having the list of classes here. I have the first class, I have the second class, sorry, I have the third class, and so on up to I have till 10th class. Let's consider. And moreover, can one student sit in multiple classes? No. But one class can have multiple students, right? But one student can have multiple classes. So one class can have multiple students, right? The first class can have like some 50 students or 60 students, or else even they can have some 100 students, depends upon the school and the strength and everything, right? So what's happening here? The classes, it's behaving as a parent object, right? Whereas the student is behaving as a child object. Means one parent is having multiple child. So one class can have multiple students, but one student cannot have multiple classes. Right? Now, and let's consider another scenario. I'm fed up with 1 to 5 students and I would like to service only from 6th class to 10th class rather than the 1st to 5th class. In that case, I decided to remove the 1st to 5th class services from my school. Now, if I remove the 1st class service, do I need the students as well? It's not mandatory, right? Anyhow, we need to send the students also back to their home once we remove the services of the 1st class. Now, what's happening? The student is completely dependent on the class, right? So the child is completely dependent on the parent. And when the parent is deleted, the child also gets automatically deleted, right? This kind of relationship we called it as master detail relationship. Clear? Now, Let's consider tuition fee. In tuition fee, let's consider I'm having like one term, I'm having two terms, and I'm having three terms. Right? Total, we have three terms in order to pay the payment. Let's consider. So when student is joining into school, it's not mandatory that the student needs to provide the information like in how many terms he's going to pay the fees. Okay, he can just later on also he can update once after joining the school. Clear. So once after joining the school also, he can confirm those details. So it's not mandatory that when a student joins into school, he need to mention these details. So there is no dependent, the field is not required here, but here the field is required because the student needs to mention the class name, right? But here it's not required. Now, let's consider in the scenario. Suppose let's consider right now I decided okay, if I go with the three terms, I am unable to like go with the payments and everything. Let me remove these three terms and third term, and I decided only to maintain the one and two terms. No, on the third time I'm having like few students who pay three terms. So when I remove the three terms, is it mandatory that I remove the students as well? No, right? Because it is a term fees. So if it are not three, they'll try to pay in two terms. But for this reason, we can't delete the students. Right? So that's the reason here the child is not dependent on the parent, right? And this is known as such kind of relationship is known as lookup relationship. Such kind of relationship is known as lookup relationship. Now let's see the differences between both the things. Lookup relationship. So here the master is nothing but the in the master detail relationship, the master is nothing but the parent object and detail is nothing but the child object. Now let's see. In lookup relationship, the field is not required, right? Here the field is required, field is required here, and then here, right, new line, child is completely dependent on the parent, right? Here, child is not dependent on the parent. Child is not dependent on the parent, right? Parent. And then here, um, when the parent record is deleted, then the child record gets automatically deleted, right? But here, the parent record is deleted, the child record will not be deleted automatically, right? So what is this functionality called as? When the parent record is deleted, the child record gets automatically deleted, right? So the functionality is known as cascade delete functionality, right? Cascade delete functionality. So it supports cascade delete functionality, and here it doesn't support cascade delete functionality, right? Right. Then here we can create 38 lookup relationships per object, and here we can create two MD relationships per object. Here we can create two MD relationships per object, and there we can create 38 lookup relationships per object. Now, let's see. Let's see how to create the master data relationship and everything. So let me log in. Login.salesforce.com. Here we enter details. search.read@facilitc.com and let me log in. Now let's initially start creating the relationship. So here let's consider the job application and the position, right? So one job applicant can apply to multiple positions, right? So that's the reason let's create a relationship between job application and position. And whereas we consider the job application as the child and position as the parent, right? Now click on new and choose the master detail relationship. So coming to this roll-up survey, I'll explain you once you are done with the master detail relationship, the relationships. Okay, select the master detail relationship and click on next. To which object we need to relate? We need to relate it to the position. Select the position. Just click on next. Position. Take this as position. Okay. Now forget about these access levels. So we have something called as allow reparenting, right? I'll show you allow reparenting once we are done with the creation. See here, as the field is required here, automatically all the values have been made it as visible. Right? Just click on next. See what happens. Click on next. And just click on save and see what happens. We got an error message. What is this error message? So, as we said, right, for an existing record, if we have a field as a required, for an existing record, if we have a field as a required, then until and unless you don't edit, it's fine. If you edit that one, you need to enter that value, or else it won't allow us to save the record. But coming to this relationship concept, as the child is completely dependent on the parent, for the existing records, we need to have the data. See what happens actually. So you cannot create a new master detail relationship on an existing custom object if record already exists. You must first create a lookup relationship, populate the lookup field with the data in all records, and then change the relationship type to master detail. So we were having the existing records, right? We were having the existing records. So that's the reason in the existing records, when that position field is created, there should be some value for the master detail, right? So as we don't have the value, it's not allowing us. Now see, let's create the same relationship with the help of lookup, and then let's convert it into master detail. Right, I have to choose the lookup relationship and I'll relate it to position, and let's click on next. Let's make it as position. Then here it's nothing but, see, always require a value in this field. That's nothing but required. What to do if the lookup record is deleted? Clear the value of this field. You can't choose this option if you make this field required. So don't allow deletion of the lookup record. That's part of a lookup relationship. So it's our wish. We can decide of what type of access we need. Okay. It completely purely depends upon the business requirement. Now see, we were able to select the visibility, right? And then just click on next. Again click on next. And then just click on save. So now we were able to create the lookup relationship, because as the field is not required here. Now what we'll do, let's fill up the job applications with the positions, right? So I'll open each and every job application, new page, plus new tab, and every tab I will edit the record. or no need to edit, you can just double click. This is known as inline editing. When you edit something like double click between the field, if it's getting edited, it's nothing but known as inline editing. Okay. Now let me choose the position. We don't have any positions, so let us create initially a position record. Suppose let's consider the position name as Salesforce itself. Okay, and let's click on save. Now let's consider this one to choose the position. And the position is Salesforce, and just try to click on save. Right. And then let me close this position with the job application. And here also I'll choose a position. And I'll just try to click on save. See, now it's not allowing us. Because it was a required field, right? Position, I'll make it as Salesforce and current amount. Go on save. Then let's come back here. Just click on save. Right. Right now I have to go only one position. You can create multiple records with multiple positions. Right. Now I would like to convert this field, what is the field? Position, to a master detail lookup relationship. What I need to do, I need to just click on edit and change field type and choose the master detail relationship and just click on next. Right, and I'll forget about this allow reparenting. Right, child records can be reparented to other parent records. Let's see what is it. I'll click on save. Oh, it's done. Now see, let's go to the job application and click on edit. See the position Salesforce, right? So if you try to create a new record, see how it happens, what it happens. So click on new. See the position record, it was required, right? And it should have some value definitely, right? So now, let me give you a small example for this one as well. Just a minute. I'll create one dummy record for the time being. So I'll make it as J delete. I'm just creating this record. Now what else I'll show you what. Sorry, let me create one position record also. Now see, I have chosen this one. Now I would like to update the position. I would like to change it from Salesforce to some other thing. I'm not having the option. So how I need to do? So just go to the field position, and just click on edit, and just scroll down and check this checkbox allow reparenting. Now we will be able to update the records. Right? Just click on save. Let's come to positions and create a new position. Suppose let's consider this position as SAP and click on save. Now here I'll just edit the record again and change the value from Salesforce to SAP. I'll search it. Yeah, I got the record. Use and I'll click on save. Now see, we are having the SAP record, right? Now see here, what is this? Yesterday we have seen, right, the related list, add notes and attachments related list, right? If you come to the position, right, under position, the job application is nothing but it's a related list. This is a related list. This open activities, it's a related list. So these are all things called as child objects on the parent are known as a related list. Now see what happens if I delete. So for this SAP position, we have one job application, right? Now if we delete this SAP position, see what happens to the job application. So this is what the job application, right? J delete. And we have deleted the position. Now let's refresh this page. See, the record you attempt to access has been deleted. Right? So you guys needs to try the lookup relationship, right? And also one more thing is, suppose let's consider coming to the positions. If I have another position, like suppose let's consider the SAP, Salesforce, Python, everything comes under the IT jobs, right? And also there can be some other kind of jobs which are related to non-IT or which are related to some database, what it may be, right? So in that case, I can have like the positions, right? Suppose let's consider I'm having a position, right? For the position I have, let's consider I have a parent position where the IT jobs and like the IT jobs comes under one area under one roof, and the non-IT jobs comes under one roof, and overall the jobs comes under one roof. If that is the scenario, in that case we can create the position relationship, position object with position itself. That is nothing but known as self relationship. So when an object is related to itself, nothing but known as self relationship. See, I'm choose the lookup relationship and I'll relate it to position itself. So when an object is related to itself, then it is known as self relationship. So let me consider I'll make this one as parent position. Right. And I'll just click on next. Just make it visible. Click on next. And just I'll click on save. Right. Now. Now what happened? Self relationship. So when an object is related to itself, then it is known as self relationship. In the same way, we have hierarchical relationship. And we have hierarchical relationship. So in this self relationship, let's consider the structure as, suppose we have some XYZ company openings, and under that XYZ company openings we are having the IT positions and we are having the non-IT positions. And let's consider in IT positions we have like three different types of positions, like administrator, developer and database developer. And again under developer we have like different kinds of positions like SAP developer, Salesforce developer, CBIL developer. So what's happening, it's maintaining the hierarchy, right? So when we create the self relationship and we maintain that hierarchy from top to bottom, it is nothing but known as hierarchical relationship. And coming to this hierarchical relationship, Salesforce has provided by default a hierarchical relationship for the account object. So it is an important interview question, right? Now, there are like many other different types of relationships, like many to many relationship. So where we can discuss this topic at the time when we discuss about the CRM process. We discuss about CRM process, I'll let you know. And we have one to many relationship. It's nothing but the thing which we are doing right now, the MD relationship, right? Master detail. And then we have one to one relationship. So where this one-to-one relationship is nothing but at the time we can discuss the time of like validation rules and triggers. Validation rules and triggers. At that point of time, we can discuss these things, right? Now, and then many to many, one to one, right? And we have the self relationship and hierarchical relationship, right? Clear, everyone? So we'll having like these kinds of these many types of relationships, like master detail, self relationship, lookup relationship, hierarchical relationship, many to many relationship, one to one relationship, and one to many relationship. So this is all about the relationships, and you guys need to practice the rest of the things like the master detail and lookup relationship. Based on these two relationships only, the rest of the relationships will be formed automatically. Right? Depends upon the business requirement. So we are done with the relationships, we are done with the objects, we are done with the fields, we are done with the applications. So what are the topics we discussed till now? We discussed about the apps, we discussed about the objects, we discussed about the fields, we discussed about the tabs, we discussed about the relationships. Right? So one, two, three, four, five topics are done. Right. So okay guys, let's catch up in next session. Bye. Take care.